Hey, what's up, Grant? How you doing?
How we doing, y'all? I'm good, man.
I'm doing amazing. To do this with you is super awesome. I wanted to thank you for joining me today, taking your time. Super excited to talk some baseball with you, get to know you a little bit more, talk about your game. Just super excited. I want to thank you for coming on. So thank you so much
No
for joining.
problem, man. Pleasure to
So
be on.
of course, anytime. So just curious to know, where you hanging out during the off season? Like where you hanging out? You in San Francisco or somewhere else?
No, I live in Arizona, actually. I live in Scottsdale.
Ooh, that's some good weather.
Yeah, it's been nice, actually, but I'm kind of tired of it. I kind of want it to get a little cold.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I live in Toronto. No, you do not want
Oh,
cold.
yeah, that's way too cold.
Way too cold. It's
Snowing and stuff,
freezing.
huh?
It gets snowing and stuff. It's not good. Anyway, so let's talk some baseball. So your Giants just made some significant signings already this offseason. We're gonna talk about them in a moment. But first,
hmm
I want to talk about your game. Just can you describe to me what your biggest strengths you feel are and some of the things you're looking to improve on going forward?
Well, for me, I feel like I'm a game changer. Honestly, like I can do everything. I could, hit home runs. I can steal bases. I can go in and get a knock. I can play good defense if I need to. If they need a sack bunt or something, I could do that. But honestly, I'm, like a spark guy. Honestly, for our team, I can make things happen real quick and change the game. Um, but for me, going forward this season, I really want to focus on having a better approach at the plate and working harder at putting the ball in play a little bit more. I had a little struggle towards the end of the season, but you know, rookies, man.
Exactly, rookies. You mentioned being able to do everything, and it's interesting because I read one of your former coaches, Coach Kennedy. He said about you, and it's pretty impressive. He said he'll be a five-tool player. Obviously, he's got the arm strength. The one thing that really stood out to me is his sixth sense with the game of baseball. You can't teach baseball instinct. He has that baseball instinct. Those are the things I'm gonna miss, seeing him kick into another gear. Just talk to me a bit about your baseball instincts for a moment and when they kick in and how they kick in.
Well, I mean, I've been around like professional baseball for a long time. My dad was a coach when I was a kid. He was a rover in the minor leagues for the Dodgers and the Reds. So I was always around during spring training. I was hanging around in the locker rooms during his trips on the road, like going to different affiliates. So I got to meet a lot of like former big leaguers and, current Hall of Famers or soon to be Hall of Famers during my time. But, just getting to pick their brain at a young kid or just picking up little tips and tricks from them, it made a big jump in my game, honestly,
Helped you take you to that next level 100%.
Yeah, for
Learn,
sure.
learn how to keep going. That's awesome. Anyway, so another thing that Coach Kennedy said about you was that between your junior and senior seasons, you took more of a leadership type of role and directed and helped the younger guys just a ton. So now that you're with the Giants, so you mentioned doing it when you were even more like even younger with older guys, but now that you're with the Giants and you're a young player, are there any veterans that do the same for you, help you out, give you tips just day in, day out, daily type of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Lamont Wade was a real good teammate of mine this season. He was one of the older guys, been around for a little bit, but he's one of the more low key guys. Like he's not gonna bash you if you make a mistake or if you do something wrong or say something weird in the locker room. They're not gonna make fun of you or anything like that. But he's always like, he's had my back since I've been up there, and Logan Webb, Matt Chapman, those guys, they've been real good, cool teammates. Having my back as a young kid up there, trying to make a playoff run. They were real good teammates to me. So shout out to those guys.
That's former Blue Jay Matt Chapman right there. I'm a Blue
Oh
Jays fan.
yeah.
That's pretty good. Love that. So I want to ask you about a specific teammate. I had him on my show a few years ago, fellow outfielder Mike Yastrzemski. He was an awesome dude to me, and obviously he had a great year this year. He had 18 homers, drove in 57 RBIs. Are you close with Yaz at all, or
Yeah, me and Yaz got pretty close this season. We never really talked much before this season. I mean, I would go over and back up some Major League Spring Training games, and we would have like slight conversation, like in dugout, but never nothing really crazy. But this season, we got to know each other a lot more, and I felt like we had a good bond out there in the outfield. I had a good time working with him this season.
makes sense? He's a great guy. You're a great guy. Seems to work out. Am I right? Anyway, so I want to talk to you for a moment about your speed. You had 5 stolen bases after being called up, and you didn't get caught stealing once. That's 5 for 5. Pretty good, you know? Is that a part of your game that you're very comfortable with, or
Oh yeah,
anything you
man.
need to do?
I uh I don't think I have an issue this season continuing to swipe more bags. I mean, I only got five chances to go this go round in the majors, so hopefully this season I can be one of the top leaders in stolen bases.
You know, a few years ago, I forget who it was, but I had a very good base stealer in the MLB on my show.
Hmm.
And I asked him, it was back when base stealing was on a little bit of a trend downwards. And
Yeah, yeah.
I asked him like, what's that gonna be like? And he told me, yeah, it's we gotta bring it back. And then the bases changed, and now the
Hmm.
bases are bigger. And obviously you didn't experience the MLB with smaller bases. So it must be pretty good for you. Just like you hop in there, bases are bigger. Must be pretty sick. It's one of the biggest things in baseball right now. Guys stealing tons of bases.
Hmm.
It'd be great.
I experienced it in 2021 because I was drafted in 19. So in my rookie season, we had regular bases and regular rules. I remember actually we were playing our other team. The Giants had two ACL teams. We were playing the orange team, and I had hit a single in like one of the first games, and they picked over 8 times in a row on me. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Crazy.
It ripped my pants. Yeah, I dove back so many times I ripped my pants and my sliding shorts.
Eight
um,
times?
yeah, and then after that season, we had COVID, so we didn't get to play. And then the following year, they added the bigger bases and the what was it, the two step offs.
Was that annoying for you being picked off 8 times? Or were you thinking to yourself like, "Yup, that's right, 8 times. Thank you so much."
Well, it's just like back. I mean, back when before they changed it. I mean, it was a part of the game. It was just. I mean, I was always fast. I was always like known as a base stealer. So, I mean, if they try to pick over a couple times, it's no biggie. I know I'm all up in their head. They're gonna walk this guy anyways. So.
That's great. That's great. So let's talk about your team for a minute. Last year, your Giants finished 80 and 82, but with some of the moves already this offseason, plus the development of your young player, it seems like your Giants feel like you guys can compete for real. Signing star shortstop Willie Adames was a really nice move. And I
Mhm.
love his game, especially his swagger. What do you think Willie will do to bring to this team to add and bolster, obviously, not just to the infield, but the whole rotation, the whole lineup as well?
I think he's going to be a big piece for our team. Honestly, our whole left side of the infield over there with Chappie and Willie locking down that side. It's going to make that whole hole a vacuum. Honestly,
Some
and then
great fielders.
yeah, with Willie having a 2020 season almost every year, and then Chappie pretty much doing the same thing like 2015, 25-15. That's going to do a lot of damage in the core of our lineup. And then we got a lot of young guys, starting to figure it out, put it together. Hopefully, I can be a part of that next chapter. But I think we're going to be, you know, a big a big surprise for these teams out here in the NL West. Hopefully, we can give the Dodgers a run for their money.
Talking about the NL West, I was about to ask you about this. I always mention how much it sucks to be a Jays fan just because they play in the AL East and how
Hmm.
crazy competitive of a division it is. But the NL West is no slouch either. The
Mm-mm.
Dodgers are the Dodgers, world champions, always unreal. The Padres won 93 games, have great talent. The Diamondbacks won 89 games. Do you agree like it sucks to play in such a tough division, or do you like it better? Like gives you some more juice to be better.
I think honestly, it's a little tough sometimes just because you're playing the best, but at the same time you're playing the best. So, it's really competitive. Like we're always fighting. Like when we play in those divisional games, like they matter. Like everybody's coming prepared. Like everybody's on their like on top of their game, ready to go. So I feel like especially this season, um, playing against the Dodgers, I feel like we're gonna have a little bit of chip on our shoulder like always, but it's a grind, but I think it's fun playing in a competitive league like this.
Makes you better for sure. And also,
Hmm.
some of the pitchers in that division are unreal as well. Who's the
Yeah.
toughest pitcher you faced this past year? And are you excited to go up against the big names as well this year too?
Um, Garrett Crochet was a tough one. I only got one at bat off him. But I struck out, and then Joe Musgrove was pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Gonna have to get his number this year.
Oh yeah, I gotta get Musgrove this season. But Crochet was a tough one. But I only got one at bat off him though.
Right. He's a lefty. That's tough.
Yeah, left on left. He's a big guy, good extension, good ride on his fastball, and he's throwing upper nines. Like it's
For
tough
sure.
at bat. I think it was only like my seventh game to
And you
up
got
there
Garrett.
facing him. Yeah, and I was
Yeah,
like, all right, let's do it.
that's tough.
Second game, I had Max Fried though.
That's nuts. That's
I got
nuts.
my first hit off him though, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, you did. That's true.
Yeah, two
That's
foot bunt.
yeah.
That was lit, man.
So anyway, I wanted to ask you about the National League getting another superstar. Another superstar. We all
Hmm.
saw the crazy news. Juan Soto to the Mets. Huge contract. Just what are your initial thoughts when I tell you the words Juan Soto?
Honestly, man, I'm not a big Soto fan. I love him offensively. He's an unbelievable hitter. One of one, can do anything at the plate. But, you know, I feel like he's a little one-sided, one-dimensional. $750 million, that's a lot of money. But, the Mets want to win and they're hungry. So I have no issue with them signing Juan Soto to $750 million. Is that how much it was?
Yeah, it was 756, I think. Crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's a ton of money. But
765, I think it actually was.
765. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a lot of money, man. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be mad getting that. So,
You know,
but
with what the Dodgers have been doing the past couple years, thank God they didn't get him. That would have been they.
yeah, man, that would have been tough, honestly. I hope they don't get Roki or Corbin Burns.
Yeah, the Jays should get Corbin Burns. That'd be pretty nice. I'd
I
like that.
mean, you guys can have him or he could come to us. I
You
wouldn't
guys,
mind
you guys are
playing.
also there. That'd be pretty cool too.
I would not mind playing center field behind him. So,
If it's not us, let it be you.
dude, for real. But yeah, man, I think Corbin might sign with us. Just a hunch, just a hunch.
Ooh,
You heard it here first.
that's crazy. That would be huge. That would be huge. Holy. Anyway, so last question. So we spoke about it a little bit before, but August 14th, 2024, a night you'll always remember. You made your major league debut that night, and then you went out the next day against Max Fried and recorded your first hit and home run on the following day. Just tell me about that entire experience from the day you played your first game until that big hit.
Well, woke up that morning and then got the call and, told my girlfriend, I was like, hey, we gotta go. I just got called up and, packed up our apartment in Sac and drove up to San Francisco, rolled up to the stadium, and I was like, dude, this is for real. Because I went one time for batting practice in Oracle during the season. So it was the first. I've never been to a Giants game. Always wanted to go. Always wanted to see Oracle Park in full effect. Feel the crowd. And first game there was I was playing center field, and honestly, dude, it was surreal. Like as soon as I stepped on the field for batting practice, like I started. I don't know. Like I was overwhelmed with joy, honestly. But everybody welcomed me with open arms and, made me feel at home. So that was pretty awesome. But during the game, as soon as the game started, when I got called out, when they called us out to run the field, when I got to center, I like stopped in center field and, looked around, looked at all the seats at the top deck, and then turned around, looked at the Coke bottle and the glove and everything. And I was like, dude, this is for real. This is a dream come true. And that those first two at bats in that first game, man, I was shaking pretty good. I was up there holding my bat, and my hands were shaking just because I was so nervous.
That's amazing. Holy, I'm
Yeah,
so
man,
happy for you.
it was crazy. It was a crazy experience, man, and something that I'll cherish and remember forever. But the next day, man, was even crazier. You know, first day game, we got Max Fried on the mound. We're chasing a playoff wild card spot, so all these games matter.
A ton.
Yeah. First, what was it? I think my second at bat, I got the hit. First at bat, I walked. I'm pretty sure. Second at bat, bases loaded, bunt hit. I was crazy. He called bunt, and I was like, okay, like
You're like,
this
all right.
is. I was like, all right, get it down, just get the bunt down. He threw me a big old curveball, and I was trying, like, I just tried to just put the ball in play just because it was going to be a strike anyways. But it happened to go 2 feet, and then who was catching? Darnode. He bobbled the ball. I didn't think it was a hit either, but they gave me a hit for it. And I got on first and looked at the scoreboard and said first big league hit. And I was like, whoa, okay. Sick, man.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was pretty awesome. And then Jesse Chavez, first pitch, cutter, middle in for my first home run, dude. That was awesome. I
That
kind
is
of I kind of blacked out after I hit it.
many more to come. That's for sure. That's for
Dude,
sure.
I know, man.
Keep him rolling.
Oh yeah. Hopefully gonna have a good season this year.
Of course. Of course. Anyway, so thank you so much for doing this, Grant, taking your time, joining me, taking the time out of your days. Thank you so much for doing this. Do you have fun with me today?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's awesome. Thank you.